So we're going to go over 3 more exponent rules today, and not anything big deal. So to take the power of a power, multiply the exponent. So let me show you what I mean by a power of a power. If I have 5 to the 4th to the 2nd, when I take a power to a power. And again, if you ever forget, you can always just take this, and if we would multiply this out, this would be 5 times 4 times 5 times 4, because I write it twice. When I multiply like bases, I add my exponents, so I'd get 5 to the 8th. Same thing I'm going to do here. When I take a power to a power, I'm going to multiply those exponents. So these exponents right here get multiplied. So 5 to the 8th. But if you ever forget, just go back. Now, you should take out your calculator and find out what that is equal to. It's going to be probably a pretty big number. That is 390,625. Okay? That's number 1. Number 2, we have x to the 2nd, all of that to the 5th. So when I take a power to a power, x to the 10th. Number 3, c to the 5th times c to the 3rd times to the negative 2. Now, just bring that c to the 5th along for now. Here I'm going to take a power to a power. Take a power to a power, I multiply. So 3 times negative 2 is going to give me negative 6. When I multiply like bases, I add my exponent, so I get c to the negative 1. I can't leave with a negative exponent, so it has to move. It moves to the bottom. A to the 4th squared times a to the 2nd to the 5th. You cannot multiply these until you take care of your exponents. So that goes back to our order of operations. You have to take care of the exponents before you can do it. So when I take a power to a power, I multiply. So it's a to the 4 times 2, or 8. A to the 2 times 5, which is 10. Now I'm going to use my rules of when I multiply, I add my, like bases, I add my exponents, so a to the 18th. When it takes a power of a product, what we're looking at here is that we're going, just look down here at the examples. I have 3x, all of it to the 4th. Find the power of each factor. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take each of them, 3 to the 4th power times x to the 4th power. I'm going to do both of them. Then I just simplify from there. 3 to the 4th, that's 81, x to the 4th. Oops, sorry, you didn't see any of that. So now I'm going to take each of them to a power. Okay? It is not distributive property because there is not a plus. It looks like it is, but it is not distributive property. Let's look at number 2. 4g to the 5th, all of it to the negative 2. Oh gosh, no, you have options here. I'll give you the 2 options. 1, I could take care of the negative exponent to begin with. So this would be 1 over 4g to the 5th, all of that squared. I took care of the negative exponent. So that was the first thing that I did, is I took care of the negative exponent here. Now I'm going to also do it a second way in just a second. Now I'm just going to simplify here. This is 4 to the 2nd power, g to the 5 times 2, which is 10. So that's 1 over 16g to the 10th. I could have also done it by taking everything to a power. 4 to the negative 2, and g to the 5 times negative 2, which is negative 10. They both have negative exponents, so they have to go to their opposite place. So 4 squared and g to the 10th, so 1 over 16g to the 10th. Notice we get the same answer either way. So just see which way your mind goes. Do I take care of the negative first? Do I take everything to a power? It does not matter which one you do. And the third one just kind of combines a lot of things. We have mn to the 3rd times 5m to the negative 3, all of it to the 2nd power. So let's take everything to a power first. So I'm going to have m to the 3rd, n to the 3rd, times, and I'm going to leave it in parentheses now, so that's 5 squared and m to the negative 3 times 2, or negative 6. Now, what do you do next? I'm not sure. You could do lots of things. I'm going to take 5 and square it, and I get 25. M to the third and m to the negative 6 can be multiplied together. And because I'm multiplying, I can add my exponent, so I get m to the 3 plus negative 6, which is negative 3, n to the third. I have a negative exponent. I cannot leave that there. The 25 has an exponent of 1. It stays. The m has a negative exponent. It moves. The n does not move because it has a positive exponent. That is my answer. Okay? Questions? I wish I could answer them for you. Last part, power of a quotient. This is very similar to what we were just doing. We're just going to take everything to its power. So it pretty much is the same. So for instance, look at this. If I have x over y, all of it to the third power, I'm just going to take every factor to that power. So x to the third over y to the third. If I have 4/5 to the third, that's going to be 4 to the third, 5 to the third. I'm just taking everything to that power. So then I have 4 to the third, 64. 5 to the third is 125. And believe it or not, that is lowest terms. There's nothing that goes into both 125 and 64. Now this one I alluded to yesterday in the last lesson. If I have a negative exponent, remember with a negative exponent, everything has to go to its opposite place. So if I have a negative exponent on the outside of a fraction, so I have two ways I could do it. I'm sorry, let me go to the two ways. I can just take everything to a power, so 3 to the negative 2 over 5 to the negative 2. That's fine if I do that. Okay? And then I can just simplify from there. So I have 3 to the negative 2. Well, it has to go to its opposite place. Right now, it's in the top, it has to go to the bottom. This one is in the bottom, it has to go to the top. So 5 squared is 25 over 9. Now, the other way I can do it is if I have a fraction to a negative exponent, I can just take the whole fraction and flip it and get 5/3, all of that squared. So I can take care of the negative exponent first. So I can either take it to the power, which I did here, or I can go first to taking care of that negative exponent. So I have 5/3, all of it to the second power. Then I'm just going to take 5 to the second power and 3 to the second power, which of course is 25 over 9. Okay? Questions. I always want to ask if there's questions, but I'm not around here to even see if there are. Okay, so here we go. Negative 2x over y, all of it to the negative 4. And remember, this negative means value, and this negative means location. So again, we have an option. We can take everything to that negative power, or we can flip it to begin with. Okay, so I'm going to do it both ways, and then you can decide what you want. I'm going to flip it first this time. So I have y over negative 2x, all of it to the fourth. And actually, we wouldn't move that negative. We would keep that negative up top. Keep the negative up top. Okay? There. Now I'm going to take everything to the fourth power. Well, a negative to an even power is going to be positive. Y to the fourth over 2 to the fourth, x to the fourth. So that's y to the fourth over 2 to the fourth. 2 times 2 is 4 times 2 is 8 is 16, x to the fourth. Or I could have taken everything to the power first. So I'm going to have negative, oh gosh, I have to think. Negative to an even power is positive. 2 to the negative 4, x to the negative 4, all over y to the negative 4. Okay. So then that gives me 2, oh wait a second. So now I'm going to take care of them. So then I have 2 to the negative 4 makes it move. X moves. Y moves. And I get y to the fourth over 2 to the fourth is 16, x to the fourth. Same answer, either way. Okay, so in your packet, it's slightly wrong order. That's my mistake. Sorry about that. So here's our notes page. save this little fold out. We're going to use that as a review. Your assignment is 8.4 and 8.5. And we want you to try these. Remember, just like last time, I'll put that answer key out. So if you were in class right now, I'd be saying, what's one that you'd like to go over? Since you're not in class, do them. And then when you come to class, if there's ones that throw you off or you get different answers than on the answer key, please ask. Please ask. Please ask. So come in with ones that you've done them. You've tried them to the best of your ability. And then come in and ask questions. If that's still throwing you off, Wednesdays during help time. Okay, Wednesdays during help time, you can come see me if you want to get some help. So this is your assignment, 8.4 and 8.5. Okay, this worksheet. And I'm sorry it's out of order, but this is your worksheet. Good. Thank you.